Hi, welcome to HowtoDandD. My name is Fred Weller and today I want to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5e and death for monsters, creatures, animal companions, NPCs and player characters. How are they approached? When a player's character goes down, such as say this caster here, that particular character is on 0 hit points, and unless they have been instantly killed they get to make death dying saves, and there's a chance for them to continue in play, which is good. So what happens with monsters? Say for example one of these strange weird white elemental creatures gets carved down to 0 hit points by the fighter. As a general rule, the dungeon master makes the call with this. They will either have that creature fall unconscious or they will have it die outright. The norm is the creature dies outright, but a dungeon master might deem a particular monster or NPC important, just like the player's characters, and allow them to make death dying saves. But as a general rule, when this thing goes down, it's dead and removed from play. The wizard casts a powerful spell, hits the beholder, smack in the eye, and it takes it down to 0 hit points. Now, the dungeon master could have the beholder die outright or deem it an important enough monster or NPC to actually have it make death dying saves just like a player character. But that's up to the dungeon master to decide, nobody else. In this case we're going to have the beholder make death dying saves, so there's a chance it might get back up and continue to fight. So what happens to animal companions when they go down? So this panther goes down, it's fighting this creature, goes down to 0 hit points. It might make sense for the dungeon master, since there's nothing spelled out in the player's handbook, to simply allow players who have an animal companion, even though it's not part of the player's handbook at this time, to allow the animal companion or any other type of companion to make death dying saves rather than have them die straight away as soon as they hit 0 hit points. What happens to an NPC? Now this here sorcerer who's been following the party goes down. It gets hit by some sort of magical effect, goes down to 0 hit points. What happens to that NPC? An NPC isn't controlled by the players, it's controlled by the dungeon master. So the dungeon master might simply have that character die and remove it from play, or might deem it important enough to keep it in play and allow death dying saves to see if they come back into play and are still part of the story. All of the real nuts and bolts about how it works is on page 198 of the player's handbook, about how monsters and death are actually figured out. And essentially what it says is the dungeon master makes the calls with this. I'm making this video because I've seen this come up a few times in games, and I thought it would be sensible to actually check things out and provide you with a quick video on the topic. I hope this was helpful. If it has, please share, like and subscribe. Make a comment below if you have any questions about what happens to the monsters or the NPCs or the creatures that the dungeon master controls, or even animal companions. What happens to them when they reach 0 hit points? Do they die? Do they get death dying saves? If you have any questions around that, put it in the comments. I will do my best to reference everything from sage advice. Until next time, keep rolling those 20s.